Hello, and welcome to the Blood Podcast Birth, Love, Experience, and Death. I'm your host, Stephanie Bushak.
And I'm your co-hostess with the mostest, Matt Bushak.
Today is going to be a kind of a dark, deep subject.
And for those of you who are watching, you can see our crotches today. Yes, Henry's kind of far away.
Okay, if you're watching the video, I'm experimenting a little bit here and there. Really. No, there's not. Look, there's a little bear skin there.
I have a tattoo.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right.
So, anyways,
don't torture yourself.
So what are we talking about?
Today we're talking about murder.
Murder?
And murder in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know anybody that isn't associated with me that you were friends or family with that has had their life taken by somebody else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, and I knew a lot of Marines and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to talk about your Marine experience one of these days.
Hoorah.
Yeah, because he's got some pretty interesting stories. He had some pretty interesting characters he hung out with and stuff like that.
Move that mic a little farther away.
Oh, am I creeping?
Yeah.
That's another thing we're experimenting with today is we're trying not to be so close to the microphones because it kind of covers up our face. And now that we're on camera,
further away.
Yeah. So this is my experience.
Okay, Steph.
I have 3 people in my life. One person that I was really good friends with in middle school, and an uncle and my mother that were all 3 killed.
Murdered.
They were all murdered. All 3 of them were shot in the head. And no, I had nothing to do with it. No.
Full alibi.
I do. So the first one, I was friends with this girl named Leslie in middle school. And we were about 14 at the time. And I had like a whole school year pretty much between the end of 7th grade and the end of 8th grade that I hung out at her house a bunch.
That was when you were in Shack, right?
Yes, that's when I was at Shack.
And I was at Shack.
Matt was at Shack. We did not know each other at the time.
For junior high folks who don't know what Shack is, of course, everybody knows what
Of course, everybody knows. And we were really good friends. And when I got pregnant with the kids, which was back in 99 or 98.
1998.
Yeah. But when I was part of the way through my pregnancy in 99, for some reason, I really wanted to I was going down memory lane a lot, and I really wanted to get a hold of like old friends I hadn't seen in a while, and even family. Like I even started talking to my dad again at that point.
This was before Facebook.
Yeah. Which is why I was literally thumbing through the phone book, trying to find people's phone numbers. And if I couldn't find their phone numbers, I was going online and trying to type in their name and see if I could find any information on them. And so this friend of mine, Leslie, I looked her up online and I saw a thread I had remembered her dad's name. Her dad's name was Jackie. And the reason I remembered him is because Leslie was an only child and her dad was like really participatory parent. You know, he took me out to my first sit down restaurant.
Yeah.
And, he was always running around and doing stuff for us kids. And so, but it was like an internal memo at the job that he worked at with a bunch of people giving their condolences over Leslie dying.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh my God, she died.
That's what you found.
Yeah, that's how I found out she died. A lot of people were like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Leslie was a great person. We're all going to miss her. And I was just like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So what I did was I found their address and I was too shy to call. I hadn't talked to them in years and years, like 12 years or 13 years or something. A long time. And so I wrote a letter to her parents And basically, I was like, hey, I noticed online that Leslie died, and, I'm really sorry. I had no idea how she died.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, didn't
I
say.
was just
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry. She was a really great person. I loved her. She was really, caring and considerate and very sensitive person. And so they actually wrote me a letter back,
I remember.
which was very sweet and
Yeah.
made me cry, and told me that her car had broken down in Dallas when she was 21. And back then we didn't have cell phones,
Yeah. No
right?
cell phones. Yeah.
And so she got out of the car to go like look for a gas station or something, and somebody just randomly shot her while she was crossing the street. And then when emergency arrived, they didn't realize she had been shot because the way she was laying in the street, they thought she had been hit by a car.
Oh, okay.
And so they took her to the hospital with the assessment that she'd been hit by a car and had a head injury from that. And it took them a while before they found the bullet wound
Yeah.
and realized what was going on. And by then she was in a coma.
Yeah.
And so she was the first, I think her parents actually went to court for this. She was the first person in the state of Texas to be able to donate her organs as a gunshot victim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Up until that point, for some reason, gunshot victims weren't allowed to donate their
Donate.
organs. So her parents like fought for that, and
Well, that's cool.
yeah. So
They're like, we ain't got nothing to do with these.
yeah.
Somebody else could have these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, let's put
Very,
this to some good use,
very
right?
kind. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, of course, is a shock because I was super young when that happened, and she was super young, and you don't think, your 21-year-old friend is going to die.
Yeah. That's young, man.
Yeah. So that was a shock. And then I want to say 2008, and I don't really remember what time of the year it was, but it was in 2008.
It was after Katrina.
It was after Hurricane Katrina. I had an uncle, Bill, that was my mom's brother. That
He's really into music.
yeah,
Tell us about Bill.
yeah, Bill was great. Bill had a really good sense of humor. He was pretty quiet. He was actually, for the most part, if you didn't know him, he was a really quiet guy.
Yeah.
But he had a really good sense of humor, and he loved his music. And so he like literally, that's from, if he wasn't at work, he was playing his guitar morning to night, morning to night. And after Hurricane Katrina,
He had a son.
yeah, he did. He had a son named Carl, who, as my cousin.
Shout out Carl if you ever listen to this.
Yes. Carl is an amazing person too,
Yeah,
and we love him very much.
We should put his name in the show notes or something so it like searches on, Google or deep searches.
Yeah.
Be like, what?
And yeah, and Carl's got a cool wife and a really cool family. He's got a ton of kids, and they're all awesome. So, anyways, he was Carl was actually kind of estranged from Bill. He had not met him as an adult, so he didn't know a lot about him personally. But Bill went to Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina, because in Louisiana they had a lot of damage there and a lot of stuff that they needed construction on, obviously. And he was in construction, so he decided, hey, this is for sure work. Let's go out to help with Katrina, and just be a part of that community. And he was there for, I don't know how long. I want to say probably a few months, but I don't know for sure. And we got a call one day that somebody knocked on his door and shot him in the head.
For his pay, right?
They honestly, nobody ever knew what happened.
It's still fucked up.
Yeah, and he still had his guitar strapped to him, like he was playing guitar when somebody knocked on his door, and he opened the door and they shot him. Yeah. While he was holding on to his guitar. So yeah, there was a little blurb in the newspaper about it, and they didn't really know who did it or why or any of that.
Yeah, it was just shocking because like he wouldn't have got sideways with anybody because he wasn't
No,
an aggressive
he was
type of
no,
person,
not at
but
all. He was pretty laid back. He was pretty mellow. He
so
was like the, everybody let's just get along kind of person, and he wasn't super vocal or angry or anything like that. So
so it's totally random, man.
yeah, so that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, do you remember when you heard the news on that one?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
We had a memorial for him over at my aunt, his sister, CJ. No, was it at CJ's house or was it at Kaylee's?
I think it was.
We had mom's memorial over at Anyways, we had a memorial for him.
I think it was at CJ's.
I think it was at my aunt CJ's. And I got to meet my cousin Carl for the first time since he was little bitty. I mean, the last time I had seen him, he was 4. And at this stage, he was like, 30 something. And so,
big guy.
Yeah, he's very tall and muscular and all that good stuff. A lot of the guys in my family are very
hardy.
They are. I come from, I want to say good stock, but there's some of us have died kind of young, so I won't say that. But they're all good looking.
Yeah, there you go.
We got that going for us. So that was 2008. And, that was my mother's brother. It was very, very devastating to her losing a sibling like that. And of course, his other siblings. And so, anyways, the last murder was my mother. And this was in 2013. So it'll be 12 years ago this September, I believe.
Yeah. And I remember when you heard that news, you were in the kitchen and you answered the phone and you just like did this, oh my God, and just started like falling to your knees.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what, I mean, it's like you just know, like something. Yeah.
Something very tragic has just happened.
Really bad, yeah.
Yeah. And it was my mom, she unfortunately was in a marriage that had just gone completely south.
Unfortunately, because of her mom's background, she wasn't the best at picking
mates.
Picking mates, yeah.
And I think she
just loved everybody.
She did. My mom was a very loving, very generous, very sensitive person, and she had a lot of she liked to kind of nurture and take care of people. Unfortunately, she attracted men that were manipulative and abusive. And her last husband, Rick, she was married to for over 20 years, and they had broken up with each other because they were both alcoholics, but my mother was a functioning alcoholic. Mm-hmm. She just needed 2, 3 beers in the evening to help herself get to sleep, but she wasn't she wasn't combative or argumentative she didn't really have an attitude or anything like that when she drank. She was pretty much herself. I mean, it mellowed her out, and helped her go to sleep. Yeah. Well, her husband was an asshole drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, big time. Yeah. Throughout the years, Matt and I used to go and visit.
Oh, God, yeah.
Very regularly, because that's usually where we stayed when Matt would go on his drills for the Marines once a month.
And Rick would go on tirades and just talk about the neighbors or the whatever, and it's just like, I would just sit there because I didn't know any better. I was just, 20 something. So I was just like, whatever, go ahead and rant, old man. I don't care.
Right.
But he was hostile, man. He was very
He
hostile.
always came across as just being very arrogant
Mm-hmm.
and very controlling. And he was, I think he was a narcissist.
Yeah, he was.
Because things with my mother, it was vital that she be constantly taking care of him, doing what he said.
Mhm.
It was all about him in the relationship.
Yeah, and he was. I mean, he would say things like, I could, because I believe in Jesus, I could kill somebody right now and I'd still go to heaven. You
Yeah,
know,
because to God, that sin isn't any more horrible than any other sin.
because I'm forgiven, because I've been baptized. And and he would just say stupid shit like
Yeah,
that, and
and
he would
he
argue with you about anything.
anything, anything.
Jeez.
He was a right fighter, which basically means he was always right
Yep.
and would fight and fight and fight, argue,
Mhm.
argue, argue.
And Stephanie's mom was the opposite. She didn't care.
Yeah,
So
she's
she would
she's
just be
real.
like,
She's like me. She's
she'd be
real
like,
like
whatever, Rick. Okay, you're right.
go with
You're
the
right.
flow and just we'll do what everybody else wants to do. And
So she wouldn't feed the fire at all. I mean,
mm-mm,
she was so,
yeah.
chill.
But being married to somebody for that long, I'm sure they had their fair share of her being like, Rick, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I mean, you do reach a breaking point sometimes.
yeah.
Um,
You do.
but like I said, their marriage was going south. I don't know all the nitty gritty of why it was going south. I can only imagine it had something to do with his fucked up personality and how overbearing he was, um, and the fact that my mom wanted him to quit drinking, obviously,
Mhm.
but she would not quit drinking along with
Yeah.
them.
So it's like there's gonna be alcohol in the house.
Yeah, and he was like a liquor. He liked his Crown Royal and Coke, and she liked beer. Um, so I know even if it was just beer in the house, he would not be satisfied with that. But yes, he would definitely indulge. But I used to tell her, hey, if you can quit drinking your beer, it might
Yeah.
be better for him. You're doing something that you're telling him not to do right in front of him every night. He's going to be tempted.
Hmm.
Um, but she had her demons and she could not give up the beer. And so, whatever ensued, they were not cordial to each other, living together towards the end. And so, um,
And he would threaten her. He would threaten her, but she never called the police. She
yeah,
never.
he was always insulting her constantly. He'd do it around me and Matt all the time.
Hmm.
And Matt and I were always shutting that shit down. We were always like, do not talk about her that way. That's not cool. We don't feel that way. You look like an idiot when you talk that way about her. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was a gun nut.
Yeah.
Now, I am not anti-gun.
Not at all.
No. We've shot guns.
I
I've
would
gone to the range
I
in the
would have a
military.
I would
I've
have a
shot
gun
rifles.
for Ryan. Kind of
Yeah.
makes me nervous having
Yeah.
one, but uh,
But
I
it's
did buy a raffle ticket, so I might win one from a guy at work.
oh, okay,
So
cool. Good luck with that.
yeah, thanks.
Nice. So we're not anti-gun.
Yeah,
Um, but we are anti-sociopath asshole being
yeah,
obsessed with guns.
yeah,
And that's what we had in this case. This guy had gun magazines all around the house all the time. At one point, they had a dog. They named it Ruger.
yeah, yeah.
He liked to take guns out and show
Show
everybody
off
when
his
we come
guns.
and
Yeah,
visit. He'd be like, check out this new handgun I bought at a gun show and blah, 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 and this
yeah.
and that. And, showing us all of his firearms. And we were just like, oh, okay,
But
whatever.
it was scary, kind of, because
Yeah,
you knew
because,
he would be drinking like a motherfucker, and
yeah,
you're like, is this guy gonna get careless? Is this like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I always felt really uncomfortable when he brings
Yeah,
guns out.
he always made us pretty uncomfortable.
But I think it was just his way of, like slapping his dick out, like, yeah, yeah, look at me, I got these guns.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was his way of showing where he was in the hierarchy of everybody in the house. I got this under control because I got firearms. Okay, mean alcoholic guy,
Yeah.
please put that away. And so, he already had that obsession and he was an alcoholic. And apparently, so my mom moved out and she moved in with my Aunt CJ. And she had lived with CJ for about 2 years.
Yeah,
And
this was back in the 2010,
yeah,
2011.
and I can remember while they were separated being over one day at CJ's place and Rick was there and I was kind of like, what's he doing here? But so apparently my mom and Rick were still seeing each other
On the side.
on the side. And sometimes I think people kind of knew what was going on and then sometimes they didn't. And it wasn't real clear what was going on and where their relationship was going. You didn't know if they were headed for divorce or if they were just going to stay married and move back in together. I don't know what the hell was going on. My mom knew very well our opinion on Rick. Over the years, we had told her many times he's dangerous. He's a terrible person. He doesn't treat you right.
We don't want him around.
We don't want him around our kids, your grandkids. And so yeah, that's where we were. They were about 2 years, quote, separated, unquote, and they were seeing each other. And apparently they were meeting up at a motel and like spending a weekend together about once a month. This was like becoming their side routine after a while. And
they could stand each other for a weekend.
Yeah, like they can't live under the same roof. And I've got to tell you, the reason that my mom left Rick, I just remembered he had actually um, threatened her with a knife.
Oh, okay.
He had wrestled her to the ground and put a knife up to her and threatened to kill her. And so this was the reason for their separation is he finally started getting to that point where it wasn't just verbal assault and it wasn't just a push or a shove. He had gone full blown grab a weapon and threaten your life on her. And so they had a weekend that they met up at a motel, and next thing you know, I'm getting a call from her brother, my Uncle John, that Rick had shot her in the head and she was dead. Yeah. And it was surreal. I mean, it was surreal when Bill died, but this was my mother. This was my mama. And I can't say that I never expected something like that to happen. I can't. Because when my Uncle John called, I said something to him to the effect of, no, he didn't tell me Rick shot her. He just said, your mom's dead. She was shot in the head. And I said, Rick did it, didn't he? And he said, yeah, it was Rick.
Of course, yeah.
So Rick had called my mom, or I'm sorry, Rick had called the police as soon as he shot my mom and said it was an accident. And that saved his ass.
Because there was no evidence, and she never called the police.
No, she had never called the police on him.
He threatened her.
And that was a pattern for her. She had boyfriends and spouses that beat up on her, did terrible things to her, and she never called the police on it. She never reported it. And so she never reported it with Rick.
Yeah. So, as far as they're concerned, there's no evidence that he had any malice. And so he got off with what, a couple of years?
He was convicted of manslaughter. My Aunt CJ and I went and testified against him in court, and he was sentenced to 7 years in prison. and he served less than 2.
Yeah.
Go legal system.
America.
Merca.
So, yeah.
And not only that,
Where a black man who's selling weed can be in jail for 20 years, and a white man who kills somebody can be out in less than 2.
yeah, apparently so. And it pisses me off because he got parole, and I could, maybe TV's been lying to me and I watch too much. Now I do watch too much of it, but
It does lie.
and it does lie. But I thought they were supposed to notify family when somebody was coming up for parole.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
And they had my information, and nobody ever notified me that he was coming up for parole. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't think they did.
I remember going around.
I think it's kind of your responsibility to keep up with that.
Yeah.
They just don't have the resources
Yeah.
to let everybody know.
But I don't think I expected him to like be up for parole in less than 2 years. That shocked me when I found out that he got out. I was like, he wasn't even in for 2 years. It was like maybe 2 years, but it was a sliver of being really close to 2 years or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
I hope he was ass raped the entire time.
I do too. He had the balls to get on social media at one point and start posting a bunch of lies about Matt and I on there. I mean, nobody in our family wants anything to do with them. Nobody's contacted him since this has happened. Nobody, if we had our quote revenge, it would be him sitting and rotting in jail. Okay. But he's not. And we have to live with that. But how fucking dare he get on social media out of nowhere? And this was just a couple of years ago. So it's probably like 9 years after my mom has died, and starts posting a bunch of BS stuff.
He got drunk.
Yeah.
He got drunk. He's like, oh, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm going to torture these people whose mother I already killed.
Yeah. Because he's a dick.
Yeah. So, anyways, if I'm going to dox anybody, Ricky Lynn Brown in Arlington, Texas, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I hope that in the end you get the justice you deserve. Do not use my Christianity against me. You are not any more holier than thou than you seem to think you are. And yeah.
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 You're a drunk loser.
Yep. Yep. And you killed my mama, and I don't care what you say, you did it on purpose. Clean shot to the head. You did it on purpose. So, anyways,
Yep.
Just had to get that out there.
You got it. You and OJ.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it's coming up on the anniversary of her, being gone for a while. And gosh, I've just had so many crazy tragedies that have happened in my sphere. It's not even real sometimes.
I mean, I don't even know anybody close to me that died in a tragic accident, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the statistics the odds are weird with, I'm hitting.
Except for Sunny, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm hitting against all the odds.
You are.
And I think we're hitting against the odds on a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
you're married to me. You've been married to me for 36 years. You had to go through the whole my uncle being killed, my mom being killed.
One of us has good luck.
Partially good luck.
I mean, that balances you out.
You think you've had good luck?
Otherwise, it would really suck. I don't know.
That's good, baby. That's good.
I haven't had as much.
Keep up the positive attitude.
Bad luck as you.
That's good. Yes. No, that's true.
That's some tragic shit.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, we're not talking about it today, and we don't know when we're going to talk about it. But, our son Sonny passing away, and I've always been a pretty like upbeat person, and this shit's starting to break me.
Yeah, it's tough to It's tough to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. Or
everything.
try to be the one that kind of stays positive and kind of keeps
Yeah.
things going and, the cheerleader and
Even when you do this stuff that like you used to really, really, really like, you just kind of like it.
yeah.
Like, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Everything's kind of dulled out and lost its flavor.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
on that happy note,
Hey,
hey,
birth, life, experience, and
hey,
death.
Matt,
That's
guess
all in
what?
one.
Guess what?
What, Steph?
Life will kill you.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Stay happy, kids, okay? Like, for real, stay happy.